Do this?
Yeah.
I think it is weird.
Right? Isn't it?
I never thought we'd be here.
I think it's weird. Most people don't do this.
No.
Anyway, we are live. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to
What's
another
up?
edition of the Wasted Ammo Podcast. We are having some issues, so hopefully it's all sounding good.
You can already mark off the technical difficulties on your bingo board. We're there.
But I think we got it. Starting off a little late, but I think everything looks good.
There's a lot of prep work in tonight and trying to make sure everything was on point. I think we're okay.
I was more worried about the booze, so
I
I fell behind.
Yeah, I picked up some Corona.
Very fitting. With some Lyme disease.
Yeah, my son has a cough and my daughter has a sore throat. I'm already exposed. So,
And you came over here.
Yeah, you're gonna get it anyway.
Okay.
Might as well test your immune system and make sure it's working fine.
Gotcha.
Besides, the theory that I have is that if we fill our bodies with enough alcohol content in our blood, the virus won't be able to survive anyway. So there's that.
Your liver will just die, but it's fine.
Yeah. Small sacrifices must be made in order to survive.
So at Lindsay's work, she runs an assisted living. It's not the coronavirus, but it's the norovirus.
Yeah.
And they have a complete infestation, an epidemic, I guess you can call it.
Yeah.
So they're doing like soft quarantines. No one's going to the dining hall. Everyone's eating in their rooms. Like it's kind of a big deal. So they have a norovirus sign on the front door and a coronavirus sign on the front door. It's like, oh, great times to be alive.
Oh, yeah. They're already talking about like the Olympics coming up in July.
Because it's in Japan?
Yeah, it's in Tokyo, I want to say.
Okay.
And yeah, which Japan was heavily hit with Corona. And yeah, they're all worried. I mean, just with the incubation period itself, being months in advance, it's going to take all year, it seems, to kind of work through everybody. And if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But
I mean, right now it's hitting Italy pretty hard too.
Mm-hmm.
So they've had at least like 100 and some deaths. They're canceling school, making people stay home. It's just crazy.
Yeah, we're still not at like those numbers even for like swine flu and bird flu, the whole H1N1 and all that. But interesting, people keep making interesting points. And there's 2 points that I want to make tonight in regards to coronavirus. One of them was, how did it go? 900 people have been diagnosed with coronavirus and everyone's rushing to wear masks when 30 million people have AIDS and still don't want to wear condoms.
Isn't AIDS pretty much, is it solved?
No, it's managed.
Okay.
Yeah. They can't cure it, but they can prevent it from killing you now.
Oh, that's good. So they extend your life.
So they extend your life.
Indefinitely.
Yeah. I also saw another news article from like the Daily Wire or something like that. I don't know if that's a credible news source, but apparently they've created a cure, or there's a vaccination now for corona. But I'm not sure if it was a legitimate source.
Okay, well, I heard from what I heard, they talked about there would be a vaccine, but by the time it could be produced and trialed and everything, it's going to be next year.
Yeah.
So coronavirus is going to be like a seasonal flu, a more deadly version of the seasonal flu, and there's going to be vaccines for here on out until the next one, until the Chinese develop another virus. Which, by the way, last week, Eric and we came down here, we recorded probably about like a 2-hour episode on all about the coronavirus. We had Kyle's whiskey that we were drinking, or his tequila, and it was a great show. And then I screwed it up with the whole technical side of it. I feel so bad. It was so good.
It was a great episode. I went live in the podcast group and tried to explain some of the points, but it was nowhere near good enough as to our conversation over several glasses full of tequila. That was absolutely delicious. But
Because we were celebrating because, the 1911 became mine.
right.
We were talking about coronavirus. We were having a good time. We were drinking, not even our alcohol, Kyle's, which he said we could. So thank you, Kyle.
Yeah.
It's still, look at that. There's a lot left.
It's here. It's just above the label. So,
Anyway, it was a good episode, but when it came to the recording side of it, I was trying to eliminate background noise, so I was messing with noise gates in the program, and it started like clipping off our voices. So I messed that up. If you guys can stomach it, like stomach the audio quality, I might try to touch up a little bit and just release it for the Black Site members. That way, if you want to listen to it, you can. But
yeah.
But it's, our voices are getting kind of clipped off at the end there. But it was a good episode, so I'm sorry that we couldn't release it. A lot of technical difficulties lately,
Right.
unfortunately.
But
Part of it's me doing this basement, too.
yeah, it has to happen, though. This is part of the journey.
Right.
So it's, I don't know. I understand. I get it. We just haven't been consistent lately. And everyone knows that that's my pet peeve. Thanks, Skizos.
Kyle
Sure.
said that's all that's gone. Yeah, we felt bad. We don't want to drink all of it.
Yeah, you don't want to drink it while you're not here.
And we were still really buzzed that night.
Yeah, we were both pretty well gone.
Eric had to stay here for a little bit
Yeah.
to sober up.
It was a great episode.
It really was.
And then I was posting to Facebook with the buzz.
I know, you posted it right away.
Yeah.
Knew it was going to bite us in the ass.
So anyway, I brought over, we got our tax return today. And to celebrate, Steve had me stop at the store and get some Corona, but I also picked up a bottle of my favorite rum. So as you guys know, as I've mentioned before, I'm a rum guy. I love rum. If I drink hard liquor, that's what I prefer. And I picked up a bottle of Bumbu, and this is a rum out of Barbados. And it's from 7 different islands in the Bahamas. And so it's actually got 7 different spices in it. So there's spices from each island around the Caribbean. And it's also aged, is a 15-year aged rum, and they age it in used whiskey bottles or whiskey barrels. So anyway, I'm anxious for you to try it.
So rum and whiskey barrels?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's actually pretty popular. Even some Captain Morgan's is from whiskey barrels.
And Eric also bought me this Blackbeard fire starter kit.
Yes.
Now they have like this huge social media advertisement program going on. I've seen videos of them cutting this stuff up, soaking it in water, still starting fires. And I wanted to buy some. And then Eric tonight surprised me with a little stick.
Yeah.
I'm excited to try it out.
So it's lightweight. All you have to do is cut off like a little bit. And I mean, you've got at least 50 uses in there.
And it kind of fits with the whole pirate theme.
Right. We're definitely
Which
going.
is even better.
we're definitely going pirate.
So how much was this?
I think for 2, it was like $25.
That's not bad. All right. We need to make a video.
All right.
Soak it in water, start a fire, see how it works.
Sounds great. You ready to try this?
Dude, that looks like...
Smells so good.
Ooh, it does. It's sweet. I like it.
My favorite.
I like that a lot.
Rum is the way to go, man. I'm telling you. With hard liquor,
Can you sip on rum, though?
I do. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I don't care that I'm supposed to take a shot of it. I'm sipping that. It tastes delicious.
It tastes really good.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a... You put like my... I don't know.
Well, I mean, a lot of people like to mix it with sodas. My brother-in-law, who lives in Florida, he likes rum so much that he actually is banned from buying it
What do you mean?
because he uses it in everything, like his cooking, his drinks, like mixes drinks and stuff. He used to be a bartender,
Okay.
but rum is his go-to. Anyway, he got to the point where he was abusing it. And
Oh, just like
yeah,
personally, like he
yeah,
banned himself from buying it.
yeah. So he was like, it's just not good for me.
Yeah, I think that's a problem. I have a family member as well, more so for dieting reasons, reverted to hard alcohol, 0 calories basically,
Yeah,
adding it to Diet Coke and stuff. And yeah, it really, he became a little addicted to it.
yeah. So rum is very easy to just add to things and just kind of forget about it. But it is delicious. You just have to have some self-control.
But like a rum and Coke, that doesn't do it for me.
I like rum and cream soda.
What? Something just came out. It was cream soda and
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Did you try that yet?
No, I posted about it. I actually shared it to my wife's Facebook page. And I said, in 2006, we got married. In 2020, our sodas got married.
They combined.
Because you will see in the bottom of our fridge is a 12-pack of Dr. Pepper next to a 12-pack of cream soda. And sometimes I have one of hers and she has one of mine. It's just like, she's like, how did we never think to like combine them? It's this brilliant idea. So
See, now if you did, you'd become like millionaires. Another idea down the drain.
yeah, speaking of millionaires, that's the other point I wanted to make about coronavirus is I wish that as soon as they announced coronavirus or there was like this outbreak that I had bought stock in Purell and Lysol and 3M for sanitizers and these NIOSH masks because I'd be making a killing right now.
Well, when it first hit, I was thinking, okay, it's another SARS. It's going to make news, but it's not going to really
Right.
expand anywhere.
But see, that's where I should have just jumped on and be like, take the risk and be like, oh, well, maybe I'll just throw like $500 on 3M and Lysol. I could have had $3,000 now.
just put in Bitcoin, you'll be fine.
Right. And then there's that meme going around of like the owners of Lysol and Purell. And the guy's got all these like gold chains on and a gold shirt.
So how, which was it? Kyle says, do you feel like a pirate now? Yes, I do. Thanks for asking. But so how worried are you guys about the coronavirus? If you are super worried, float some hearts. If not, do a thumbs up. Let's see what they say. And I can't see, so Eric will let me know what people are doing.
Joe says that I should also try Diplomatico rum. And Matt Chrisberg says he wasn't kidding about how Caucasian this is.
He's showing up again.
Yeah, he's back.
What up, Matt?
Oh, my wife even, wife alert. My wife even chimed in here and put up a like saying she's not concerned about coronavirus. We have a few hearts where people are concerned.
Okay, so a nurse is not worried.
No, she's not worried.
Okay. Have you guys talked about it?
Oh, yeah. We've talked about it quite a bit.
So why isn't she worried?
Because it is just like any other common virus.
Wrong. Next.
And that's the other problem is that all of a sudden everyone's a medical professional.
I'm just saying, according to the World Health Organization, the coronavirus is about 30 times more deadly than the standard flu.
And the CDC says that there's no reason to worry.
Which means we can't trust anyone.
Exactly.
So the world, taking in all accounts of everyone infected and people who have died, the mortality rate of the coronavirus is 3.4%, where the flu is 0.1%. It's a big difference.
That is a big difference.
Now, is there a difference in the quality of medical care in these different areas? Yes. Is that going to be the death rate for the United States? Probably not. But it's still deadlier than the flu.
Yes, it's deadlier than the flu. However, you have to take into account, like you said, the quality of life, the quality of care of those other countries. Everywhere that's suffering right now has like socialized medicine. And I'm not going to say, they're not the cleanest environments. Italy
Are
may
you calling them shithole countries? How dare you?
How dare you assume what I'm trying to call China? So, how do I say this? Italy, I would say, probably is the most comparable to the United States as far as like quality of living.
I heard the Pope's infected.
Is he?
I don't know.
Well,
He's sick.
Oh, well, I mean, he's God should,
Is it
God should just
coronavirus? I don't
cure
know.
that. He should just take care of that. I'm sure the Pope's doing everything he's supposed to be doing, right?
I think he was meeting with those who were sick, and the next day he got sick.
Oh, man. I mean, Bloomberg went a step further and actually, ate Chinese food to show solidarity.
Did he really?
Yeah, and still gets
He
8.
dropped out. You
Yeah,
see that?
he got 8%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Bernie, though. I feel like they really screwed him over once again.
Oh, definitely.
Everyone's dropping out, supporting Biden. He got screwed.
Yeah, he gets screwed every time he runs. He gains so much traction, and the DNC's like, oh, see that rug under your feet?
James says the Pope was cleared of corona. If you believe them,
Yeah, whatever.
he'll probably be dead.
I don't believe anything.
He'll be dead in a week. Can you imagine just the news if he does die?
The Pope?
Yeah. The stock market will tank.
Everyone he blesses has corona. It'd be terrible.
Hopefully he is cleared. Feel bad for saying that. Going to hell just for saying it.
Matt says everyone who is suffering comes from a country that supports AKs or Italy.
So you're saying let him suffer. Okay.
Chris Corbett says the CDC will lie to keep the peace as long as possible.
Well,
so
I think most governments will lie to keep the peace.
that's something that happened that I noticed was a kind of a change in verbiage. Was they came out saying that this is serious. You should take this seriously. It's becoming an epidemic or a pandemic, and everyone rushed out to buy these masks. And all of a sudden, now hospitals and doctors' offices that need the masks on a daily basis can no longer get it. The supply is all gone. And now they're having to wait.
And they're telling people not to buy them.
Right. So now they're saying, oh, it's not as bad as everyone's making it out to be. You're not at high risk. And all of a sudden, they're like trying to like cool the jets on this thing. But I think they're also saying that because, tinfoil hat time, because they need the supplies. And so they're gonna start dialing it back, saying it's not as bad, hopefully that the public calms down and eventually stops buying these masks so that they can get their stockpile again.
Yeah. Do you I do think they need the masks more than we do. So I feel bad that they can't get it because they're they're in the shit every day.
Right.
But I tried to see it local stores here in town, and I can't find one. Walmart, Meijer,
Yeah.
Menards, there's no masks.
Yeah, you know how many I have?
How many?
0.
From work?
I can get them at work.
I was going to ask, what do you have at work right now?
Well, I have level 1.
Right now, it might be a good time to start borrowing some things.
I have a level A hazmat suit at work, so
Can I have one?
I have a supplied.
On loan. I'll give it back in 90 days. Pristine.
I have an SCBA mask.
See,
and
my
tent.
wife calls me morbid because this past week or so, I've really been watching virus-based movies.
And see, that's your problem. I think that's the deal with you is you've been watching Contagion,
Carriers
over and
Quarantine.
over again, and now you're just like sucked into the same like, oh my gosh, we're all gonna die. Like,
So if you have a
it's so
suggestion
easily
for a new
spread.
movie, let me know.
Do you have a compromised immune system?
No.
Are you an infant?
No.
Are you elderly?
I feel like it sometimes.
Are you elderly?
No.
Are you a member of the AARP?
No. They do send me mail.
Yeah, I get mail too.
Okay.
They're just prepping us. They're just getting their name in front of our
Like you're
face.
getting kind of old.
Yeah, you'll be with us in about 20 years. So you're not at risk to die from corona. There, problem solved.
But I think it could make you really sick. I think it could make you sicker than you would with a normal flu.
Well, of course. But are you going to die? No. A healthy individual in a
Like
healthy
our kids?
environment.
Like we have young kids. I feel like my kids are past the point. Charlotte just turned 5. I feel like she's past that point of having that super weak immune system. But
I know how frequently Charlotte's been sick because we miss podcasts because she's sick.
your kids too.
Yeah, and her and Violet are the same age. They're born 5 days apart. They have been sick so frequently with so many different things in their 5 years of life that I have no doubt that they could beat coronavirus.
Really?
Yeah.
It doesn't scare you.
It doesn't
one bit.
scare me at all. Besides the fact that it's not controllable. You can manage it, but you can't control it. And so I'm not going to freak out about things that I can't control. If I get it, I get it. If I die, I die. My peace is made. I'm going to heaven. I know where I rest with God.
But you also have 4 kids, so if you lose one, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
I only have 2.
Well, I mean,
I don't want to have another one
you could go off the birth control and
to make up for the lost one. I don't want to do that. We just got 2 puppies, by the way.
I'll give you one of my kids.
They feel like babies.
Yeah. If you lose one, I'll give you one.
Can I pick which one?
Just not Hunter, Rihanna, Emily, or Violet.
All right, I guess I get Lucy, the nurse. This might be a good time.
Now, wait a second.
Lucy, you're mine. Is she still on?
I don't know.
I have expectations.
I was hoping she would chime in here with, oh, yeah, she's here. She says, oh, my gosh.
Phil says, the public panic scares me more than the actual virus. And I agree with that. Not so much here locally, but in some other states and definitely, overseas. I think people overreacting is a big deal. I think the stock market, what you've seen so far, is an overreaction in a way. So I am worried about the effects of people just reacting to the virus and not even getting it.
Right.
That's going to cause more issues than anything else. And what worries me, like if this turns out to be nothing, like sure, if it's a little more deadlier than the flu, people die, it's horrible, it's a bad situation, but overall, it's not a huge impact, right? And we're getting this reaction out of the world already. That's a little scary.
Dude, I can only imagine like an EMP or actually like a Black Plague outbreak.
Or a virus that has like a mortality rate of 50% or
well,
something
see, that's
like
the
that.
thing. Like Spanish flu, like we talked about in the lost episode of Corona, was the Black Plague and Spanish flu wiped out 1/3 of the population. 33%. That's huge. Am I concerned about a 3.5% coronavirus? No.
Can you imagine something that did knock out 1/3 of the population?
I would lose.
Something that's that deadly hitting today.
Yes. I would lose two members of my immediate family. Me, my wife, or one of our 4 kids. Two of them would die. I'd be a family of 4 by the time this was done. So we're not there. So I'm not worried. It's 3.5%.
Does it worry that this could be a seasonal thing, though?
Seasonal?
Like to me, that's like scary. It's kind of like,
If the
okay,
virus
so
the virus
now we
hangs
have flu season.
Yeah.
Now we're going to have like SARS and coronavirus season every year.
Yeah.
Well, if it mutates, we'll have, the Chinese government makes another virus that's even deadlier. This was manufactured, just so you know.
Yeah.
Facts.
And the thing is, another one could be manufactured. Those beaker breakers.
I kind of think it was manufactured, honestly.
I swear, it was somebody that was like in a hazmat suit and was picking up the beaker and was like,
Oops.
And then in order to yell at the person, one person took off their stuff and was like, "Are you serious?" And then inhaled all of it and then spread it to everyone else. That's exactly how it went down. I saw it.
Kind of like Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, exactly. Planet of the Apes. By the way, Lucy says no sister wives.
I don't know. You don't get a voice if you're mine.
Wow. Okay, so I will pick one of my kids then. Do you
I'll take Hunter.
Do you want Hunter with a cough or Violet with a sore throat?
I'll take the cough. Coughs are annoying, but he can like sleep in the other room.
Yeah, but sore throat isn't what am I saying? A thing for corona.
Oh, it's not at all.
No. Cough is though.
Uh-oh. So Hunter might have corona.
You lose a kid and then you demand my firstborn. my bloodline, the only one that carries on the Mavis name at this point.
I guess so.
Sacrifices. You're so demanding.
It's Bible based, right? It's biblical.
No, what would be biblical is if I had multiple wives and I were to give you 2 of them.
Oh, okay.
I still have 10. And here's a llama.
Phil says, the other thing that scares me is China lying about how bad it is. Historically, that's bad. I don't believe any government on their stats,
Yeah.
to be honest.
No.
I mean, China, they locked down entire cities, right? So the death toll is God knows what at this point. People are just stuck in their homes, dying. Who knows? And based off of like every single different article that I've read, numbers are different, stats are different. The one thing I've learned is no one knows what the hell's going on. They don't even know what this virus is.
No. So
to me, that's the scariest part about the whole thing.
Yeah, and the thing is, okay, what's telling to me is the mortality rate. Tells you how serious this is. You can't fake a mortality rate.
I mean, kind of.
No, you can fudge some numbers here and there.
It could be worse. Maybe there's dead people in their rooms in their house and they have no idea because it's on lockdown for the past month.
Bring out your dead.
Dude, yeah.
I'm not quite dead yet.
You will be. Be quiet.
In fact, I'm feeling quite better. Wow, Chris Corbett. Hunter Mavis broil skizos. No.
Jeez, come on.
No.
We try, man. No. We try. We're here tonight. It's my son's birthday tonight, so say happy birthday to Jackson. He's 8 years old.
Yes, happy birthday, Jax. 8.
We had a good time. Last week we spent 2 days at Kalahari, and then we had, I think 3 nieces and nephews throughout the weekend staying here.
Mm-hmm. It
was crazy. Good times.
And then you went to Cebollas tonight.
Yep.
With 22 people.
22 people at Cebollas, yes.
Yeah.
Insane. I had 2 tall beers. I have some of your alcohol. I got Corona. I'm going to sleep great tonight.
Helps me get through the crowd. So what you're telling me is that during Corona season, you went to a public place with 22 other people.
And Kalahari.
And swam in water.
But there's,
I mean, that has chlorine in it, which kills
It killed
things.
everything.
Yeah. But not Corona because it's, manufactured.
I think they were being like extra cautious and they had a lot of chlorine in the water because I broke out afterwards.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you could smell it.
Oh, yeah. It was, my eyes hurt and everything. It's like, okay, everything was dead in there. It's fine.
Including the blood vessels in my eyes.
But yeah, so far I'm not too concerned. But if we start seeing infections in Indiana, I'll be concerned.
Wasn't there one in Indiana?
There was one that was suspected, but it turned out she was fine.
Oh, was that within 14 to 21 days, or was it, she didn't go back to it for additional testing?
Well, that's another thing. Yes, talking about facts, originally it was 14 days. Then it turned out being, maybe it's actually double that, 28 days, almost a month.
Right, because a cruise that was in Japan landed in Alaska, was it Washington? And all the American passengers were quarantined for 14 days, released to their homes with no signs. And then once they were home after like 21 days, they showed signs and a couple tested positive. So then they recalled everybody from the cruise line to be quarantined again, now that they were all just exposed themselves to the public.
And you also have patients that were considered cured, like went through the infection, survived, and were done with it. showing signs of still being infected.
Yeah.
So now they're like, oh, come back and be quarantined again.
Yeah. So there's also been testing. The testing that rolled out turned out to be faulty testing, or people weren't doing it right. And so you had false positives and false negatives. And it's been a sham.
So do you really trust your government at this point
Yeah,
to handle anything?
So another article that came out last week was from California, and it said so far 8,400 Californians were being monitored for corona. Now everyone acted like, oh, this is a huge outbreak. Okay, let's define monitored. It means that they have the signs and symptoms of corona, but they haven't been diagnosed with corona. They could have CoV-1, which is basically SARS, but they don't have CoV-2. They're just being monitored for CoV-2 or COVID-19 or Kung flu or Wuhan flu or corona. They're all the same thing. I just wanted to say that there's 5 names for one virus.
I like the Kung flu.
Kung flu is the best by far. And that's the part I talked about being racial because it's politically incorrect. But since we don't have libtards that watch, we're okay. More rum.
More rum. So
Drink. Don't you like it?
okay, yeah, I do like it.
Don't you want to be a pirate?
It's like butterscotch.
It's delicious. Oh, Adam Montgomery joined us from Jonesboro, Georgia. Welcome.
How you doing? We're just talking about the coronavirus and how jacked up the whole thing is.
Right. Jackson got 3 happy birthdays.
That's it. Come on, guys. Send the happy birthdays. Float the hearts.
Joe, his son Overwatch, and Lucy all wish him a happy birthday.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. You too, Lucy.
Bo said he got sick this week and made him nervous.
Bo's been in the woods for like the past 2 months. How'd he get sick?
I don't know. I mean, the woods should like cure you, you know, like being out in nature.
He probably went to like Walmart to get supplies before he went out.
Contracted it and then went and died in the woods.
No, Bo.
Joe Oliveira says Kung Flu sounds like a porno.
It probably will be here soon.
Phil Meisenkowski says, I really don't appreciate the mainstream media fear-mongering because that's exactly what they are doing. It gets more views. No one reported the devastation to Tennessee and the tornadoes.
Yeah, because I mean that's like it's not an everyday thing, but it's not as sexy as Kung Flu.
As a virus, yeah. Like a virus that's wiping out the entire world 3.5% at a time.
Did anyone die in those tornadoes?
I'm not sure. Did you see the video, though, of a guy in a crane about 400 feet above the earth? No. He was in a construction crane, like one of these high tower construction cranes, and the tornado hit. And he's got video. He thought he was going to die, so he's got video. He's recording, looking at the tornado. So you see,
you know, he's probably thinking like, "Well, there's no way I'm getting down,
right?
So I'm going to make one cool ass video
before I die, and hopefully." I'll post it as I'm falling over to my death. But you see like the lightning light up and you see the silhouette of this huge tornado in the sky. And it's insane. But the tornado missed him. He's still alive. He posted his video. Still with us.
That's awesome.
He'll die from corona next week.
Jeez. I looked into it a little bit. I saw the damage that was done. And I was like, it's pretty insane. But yeah, I haven't heard much about it. It's all about the virus.
Yeah. A lot of social media people have been mentioning Tennessee and raising awareness for it, which has been nice. So,
yeah.
Are we done with Corona, or do you want to keep talking about it?
I mean, we could talk about how our lawmakers, they strike a deal and they're going to provide more than $8 billion in emergency funding to help fight it.
Really?
Yep.
Our lawmakers are going to help us out.
Yeah, $3 billion are going to be dedicated to the research and development of vaccines, $2.2 billion in public health funding to aid in prevention, preparedness, and response efforts. Nearly $1 billion will go towards medical supplies, and $1.25 billion to coronaviruses overseas. I say we save that $1.25 billion and focus on us.
How much do we owe China in debt?
More than that.
Well, can they just take that off our tab?
Ooh, good point.
Right?
Yeah.
They own us a little bit less.
I do have an article here talking about how does coronavirus compare to the flu. And there was one, we kind of talked about most of it, but if we go down to just how people fared, I thought was interesting. Just got to find it. So when it comes to symptoms, about 83 to 98% of the patients develop a fever. 76 to 82% develop a dry cough. 11 to 44% develop fatigue or muscle aches. I think that's the weird thing. Like it's pretty mild symptoms until you can't breathe and you die. The death rate. This one says that it's 2.3% in mainland China. The New England Journal of Medicine found the overall death rate was lower at 1.4%, but then you have the WHO coming in today saying it was 3.4%. A lot of different numbers. I mean, of course, everything's updating as well.
Right.
But it says here, looking at the death rate, and this was just a day ago, so it wasn't that long ago. It says here, the epicenter of the outbreak in Wuhan, the death rate reached 2.9%. In other provinces of China, the rate was just 0.4%. In addition, older adults have been hit the hardest, with death rates soaring to 14.8% in those 80 and older. Among those 70 to 79, the COVID-19 death rate in China seems to be about 8%, and it's 3.6% for those 60 to 69, 1.3% for 50 to 59, and 0.4% for the age group around 40 to 49. And just 0.2%, which remember, the flu is 0.1%, for people ages 10 to 39. So, kind of like what Eric was saying, the older you are, the more endangered you are. But it's still at least double the death rate compared to the flu for ages 10 to 39. So that's our kids to us.
Yeah. Well, thankfully I turned 36 this year, so I'm almost out of that category.
So it might be a little bit higher for you.
Right. So just more rum.
More rum. Just kill in the bloodstream.
It cures everything.
So when I asked for people to vote by floating hearts or thumbs, what was the verdict? Was it more
It was
hearts?
mostly thumbs.
So they're not concerned about it.
No one's overly concerned about
Okay.
it. We had a couple people that floated some hearts, but
Okay.
I think it's on the radar. I mean, it's definitely on the radar as something to look out for, but I don't think anyone's too freaked out about it yet.
I think my family thinks I'm a little crazy just because I've been pushing them to take it seriously because they don't prepare like I do. And I'm not like a huge prepper, but I do have food storage and stuff. So I was just telling them like, if this becomes like a bigger outbreak than you're expecting, like we're seeing in other countries, and people are asking you to stay home, school's canceled, you're locked down for the most part, like go out and buy some food. Like here in Fort Wayne, you can get whatever you want right now.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the store, just get a couple extra things, like somewhat prepare for it. My family thinks I'm crazy. It's like basic stuff. You know what I mean?
Because they're like, well, you go buy the food, and then when we're all dying from Kung Flu, we'll come to your house because there won't be any food for us to buy.
Well,
and you'll have it all.
Say that, but I'm worried about that.
They will. They absolutely will. I have no doubt in my mind.
Because even I, like the past 2 weeks, I've gone out, I go grocery shopping like once a week,
Mm-hmm.
and I've purposely been buying extra things for my food storage. So I have water, I have, pasta and all that kind of stuff. Like we're good for probably at this point almost 3 months.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're probably at about 2 months right now. But tomorrow is another shopping day. So every Thursday is our grocery day.
Okay.
So I'll be picking up groceries tomorrow. I got to put our shopping list together tonight, but I'll be grabbing some extras again. And good news is I spent 6 hours today cleaning in the house, closets, cabinets, pantries, and
That's good news.
yeah, I need to show you this picture because I can't explain it. You have to see it.
So for you guys watching, if you are quarantined to your house tomorrow, how long can you guys last when it comes to food storage? I just want to know.
All right, so on the bottom you see some racks there. That's the pantry.
Okay.
That's our food. And then all the cabinet space, that used to be packed full.
Of what?
Stuff.
Just junk.
Yeah. I threw out 4 trash bags full of things today from closets in the pantry.
Okay.
And I freed up all that cabinet space. And I plan to fill it.
You should.
So it's what we needed to do in order to have more than just 1 to 2 months on hand. So I'll be buying some extras tomorrow. It's just going to get filled with ramen noodles. I'm not going to lie.
Dude, I have like 12 boxes.
like the 18 packs,
Yeah,
or whatever
it's like
they are.
the cheapest thing in the world.
Right.
Like, there's no reason why you don't have it.
All you have to do is boil some water, and you have soup.
That's like the cheapest prep ever.
Yeah,
I have a lot of boxes, and I bought more.
that's fantastic.
Yeah, I stocked up on. I was pretty low on just like meat products, so I went out and got like the 3-pound hamburger because I mean we're gonna have power. You know, it's not gonna be the extent where we're losing power. At least I hope not. So if we're just stuck in our house, if we're quarantined in our house for a couple of weeks, you know, you're gonna have power. You're gonna have refrigeration. So I bought a lot of meat. I have canned meat, the noodles, a lot of peanut butter, extra bread in the freezer. Like we're pretty set right now. I'm not worried too much.
Yeah, and that's one of the good things. It's not like it's an EMP where you don't have power and everyone's starving and has to hunt in their backyard. Like, we still have electricity. We still have gas. It's just you can't go out because you could be contagious or get infected. Like, you bug in, but you still have all the luxuries of life. You still have running water out of the tap.
Phil says, "Can I eat bullets? I have lots of those."
That's kind of my thing. I have a lot of preps of all the other stuff, the survival stuff. I just don't have a whole lot of the food preps.
Gotcha.
Which turns out to also be survival stuff. I'll be starving, but I'll be able to, build a fire and stuff.
I tend to follow the whole logic of store you eat and eat what you store.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem with that, like if you stop, you eventually eat through your storage.
Right.
So like I'll
always
do
have to
really
be
good for a while and then I'll stop. I'm like, oh, we're pretty good. And then eventually like it's all gone. Let me start doing this over again. So I need to work on that. But Eli says poorly prepared, so maybe a month. Mm-hmm. Joe says power and water stay on a week and a half. Timothy says, I'm good. Might have to run to the storage unit to grab some stuff. Will says, my Blue Moon supply runs out in 2 hours. So, ... But Corona. Does anyone drink Corona? Like, that's like the one thing I've wanted to drink as this whole thing went down.
Everyone keeps talking about it. It just makes me crave it. But I will
Corona
only drink
with
it.
Lyme disease.
Yeah, I will only drink Corona with Lyme disease.
Me too. Chris says, family size, I think I'm good for 3 months. Yeah, true. Lots of kids. Bo says 8 months. That doesn't surprise me.
No, he showed us his food storage.
Right.
Like, he's set.
Yeah.
Especially for just him and his wife.
Plus, like, just his general location, the wilderness, the
Right.
park.
Good for hunting.
Joe says we've had to get into our stores due to work loss. No money for groceries. And that's the cool thing about preparedness. I mean, it sounds like this crazy, kooky idea for only crazy people, but in, situations where you possibly do lose your job, like you have a supply of food that you have to worry about for possibly weeks or months, depending on how well prepared you are. That can save a lot of money. Because I know, like, our budget, we spend like $150 a week on food.
Yeah. That's about what we're at.
So if you have a year's worth of food stocked up and you lose your job, that's a year that you have to worry about it. Like, that's $150 every 2 weeks or week or whatever you are. $800 a month.
The biggest
that you don't have to
challenge
worry about
with food storage is that it tends to be so much different than what you eat on a normal occasion. It tends to be like less luxurious, less tasty. And
unless you're me.
it's true. But I find myself wanting a deep freezer so that I can pack it full of like meat.
Mm-hmm.
Because we do have, like we said, we do have power. And if we were to have to bug in, we have all the comforts of life. I can just go to the garage, grab, more steak out of the freezer, and we're good. We can still eat what we normally eat. And I think that's kind of the key, is to be, it's still, you have the same quality of life. You're just not going out in the public.
Right. And the price of food is, it's always increasing. So if you have food storage, you're saving money. And you're just cycling through your preps and using it as you live your life. So really, there's no downside to doing food preparation or food prep at all. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
You're going to buy it anyway. You're going to eat it anyway. If you do it right and you cycle through it and you store what you eat and then eat what you store and you keep up that cycle, like, there's no downside.
Yeah. That's the way it should be.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking about like the buckets that Bo had at his house. And sure, like one bucket feeds you for 30 days. But does that taste as good as, the spaghetti that I make on a weekly basis that my family loves?
Probably not, but if you do like that, what do you even call that stuff? Like you see deals for like food storage, like doomsday prepper type food storage.
Space ice cream?
Yeah, basically. If you do invest in that kind of stuff, I would still like cycle through it, because it only lasts so long. So, and you also, it's good practice to just learn how to cook with it in a way and get your family used to eating that type of food.
Right. Like your food prep storage should be what you normally eat.
Mm-hmm.
It should all be the same stuff.
Yeah.
What's good about those buckets is that it is like preserved. So it doesn't have like
like the shelf life is a lot longer.
The shelf life is longer. So it doesn't expire after like a year or two. It actually expires in like 5 to 7 years.
Well, it reminds me of our bug out trip.
Mm-hmm.
You and I, we kind of really enjoyed those MREs.
Yeah.
But you talk to a military guy who had to actually live on that stuff. Like, they're disgusted by it.
Yeah.
But for us, I could buy a box of MREs and I'll be fine eating that for a while. You know what I mean?
It was more like nostalgic for us, I guess.
And just kind of fun, I guess.
Right.
But even MREs, they're kind of expensive to buy and store.
Yeah. And then they're temperature sensitive. So it's not like I can just throw them in my get home bag in my car. Because as soon as summertime
keep it in
hits,
a cool spot.
Yeah, as soon as summertime hits, my trunk is 120 degrees, and that's spoiled in a week. So it's
that's why you have to bring.
Oh, Bo says 25 years on his buckets. 25
Can you imagine the 25th year opening that up and trying to eat it?
Good as it was on the first day.
I would be.
It's probably good for 30 years. They're just like, well, we've never tested it that far.
Yeah, it's kind of like medication, right?
Yeah, current studies have shown. Speaking of which, one of my preps is medication, and I just filled my last prescription on my prednisone, my steroid for my eyeball. So for those of you that may not know, I have it's called iritis, and it's inflammation of my iris. And if it's not controlled, I could go blind, and in my right eye. So anyway, I've been whenever I'm prescribed it, he usually gives me like 3 refills. Well, usually before the expiration date of the refills, I try to refill everything. So that way I stockpile it. Because last time I got iritis, I used an expired batch just to test it out to see if it was effective. And it was. It was expired by like a year or two. And it worked just fine. So I figure start stockpiling more of it.
Oh, yeah, I would.
Yeah, so
I know. Whenever we have like I want to say like surgery, but any kind of like medical procedure where we're prescribed medication or like the stronger type medication, we never go through it all, and we always store it. So if for some reason we needed it, even though it's like 2 years expired, I mean, it's still gonna work. It might not be as effective, but it's not gonna kill you.
Right.
Is the thing.
Right. Kyle says, we had MREs that we kept outside in the sun in Iraq. You'll be fine.
You didn't have the shits. That's something. I feel like my stomach is a lot stronger than the average person's because I'm willing to eat things that other people aren't.
Yeah.
And I'm normally fine. It's like, not a big deal.
See, coronavirus will have no effect on you.
Probably not. So when you go to the store, do you grab the cart and do you sanitize, all that type of stuff? I never do it.
I do grocery pickup. So
and now I do it.
Grocery pickup?
No. Just like sanitize.
Oh, sanitize? Yeah, I try to avoid going into the store as much as possible. I actually picked this up in the store and that in the store. So I hope you wash that off before we start. Well,
sure.
It's an alcohol. It's fine.
Sure.
I got the Corona at Cap and Cork. But here's the great thing is that Walmart now does home delivery. So if you want to bug in and not want to get Corona, you just, leave a mask on the front doorstep for the Walmart guy. And when he or she comes to deliver your groceries, you're all wearing masks. They're wearing a mask. They just drop the groceries off inside the front door. Then you have to come into your home. Just drop them off inside the front door. You don't have to go out. They deliver.
Okay, but did you see that there was an Amazon worker that was infected with Corona?
Yeah, so I can actually get 1-day shipping on Corona right now.
And apparently, the virus can survive on the boxes for at least 9 days.
So I canceled my Prime prescription.
So I'm just saying, the person who delivers that food to you, if they're infected, it doesn't matter. You're still screwed.
So like I said, why
they
bother
grab
to...
every box. Yeah. They're like...
That's exactly how I imagined it. Where's this box going?
Oh, that reminds me.
On the conveyor.
Hold on. A Denver politician. Did you see this report? She retweeted. Do I have that? Hold on. Oh, I don't think I have it. But there was a Denver politician that retweeted a quote and agreed to it. And it was someone talking about if they had the coronavirus, they're going to start going to Trump rallies and just spread it as much as they could. Did you see that?
No.
You didn't see that?
No.
Oh, man. Hold on. Did I email it to myself?
I don't care how sick I am getting to that toll booth in November.
Hold on. No, that's not it. Dang it. I didn't send it to myself. So I just saw it. So there was a politician who liked this post on Twitter. And it was talking about someone basically committing bioterrorism on the population of conservatives. That's kind of insane.
Well, it's like if you spit on a cop, they can actually arrest you for attempted murder.
Depending on what you have.
Well, no, because, you don't know if you have some deadly disease or bloodborne pathogen. And then they try to spit in your face, your eyeball, or in your mouth.
But you think you'd have to at least be infected with something. Like, you'd have to know that you spitting in their face is going to possibly get them infected with something.
Right, but
It's kind of like if you have AIDS or HIV and you sleep with women and you don't tell them. Right? You can get charged for attempted murder.
right, and that's what I'm saying is that if you intentionally spit on a cop, they can arrest you for that.
Yeah.
But they don't know if you have anything or not.
Right.
So they have to look at it like that. But nobody liked my one-day shipping on coronavirus joke.
No, but Joe says, Steve Burrows, isn't that bioterrorism? Yes, it is. That's crazy. So we have a politician that liked and shared this Twitter post. To me, that's crazy. We have crazy people on our side. I understand. It goes both ways. But this is a national or global health scare. And you have a politician talking about agreeing with bioterrorism.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Well, I mean, maybe we're taking it too seriously. You know how we're sarcastic and our humor is dark? I mean, maybe, the liberals, they also have dark humor. And
Politicians, they're on a different level. You need to watch what you say.
Well, they work for me, right? So I want them to be just like me. So I want them to have dark humor too. I appreciate that.
Why are you even here?
I don't know. At least Timothy liked my toll booth joke.
Did he?
Yeah.
Timmy says, just being a liberal Democrat is sign enough there's something wrong with you.
True.
Adam says, yeah, I've had the test twice because of work. Oh, really? What do you do? Let us know. Because I know testing has been an issue.
Oh,
because you've been, there was kind of you had to meet requirements to get tested.
yeah, Adam's a firefighter.
Okay. So I guess Mike Pence just talked about they're going to open up the testing to pretty much anyone who thinks they might be infected. Where before, you had to meet certain requirements. You had to have firsthand contact with someone that was infected, or you had to travel abroad. But now he's going to try to open it up where there's probably going to be millions of tests being distributed, but the makers of the test, it's going to take weeks before they can even do that.
See, why don't we just, forego the testing of the new vaccine and just put it into circulation and just see if it works.
See what happens.
Because you have two things that could possibly happen. You either have a cure or you create I Am Legend.
I watched that too.
I'm fine with either one. If we're all cured and, we don't have to worry about corona anymore, great. Life goes back to normal. If it turns into zombies, I'm good with that.
Float some hearts if you'd be one of the people that would be tested for a possible vaccine this year.
Oh, Adam Montgomery, is hospital security.
Okay, yeah, that's not... I can see that being a reason for you being tested.
And Joe says that we have politicians willing to nuke citizens to take our guns, so this is not surprising.
Oh, wait, what was it?
Yeah, Joe Biden named Beto his go after the guns guy.
Right. Who said they're going to nuke us? Was that Beto? That wasn't Beto.
No, that was the other guy from California. What's his name? Skizas something.
Okay.
Yeah, he was from California. I think he was from Los Angeles area.
I feel bad for Joe Biden.
It starts with an S, I think.
I really think he has dementia.
I think so too. I think both Bernie and Joe, I think it's important to see, like when McCain ran with
Palin?
Palin, that hot mom. She
From Alaska?
Yeah. It was important who he picked for vice president because his health wasn't the greatest. And I feel like that's the same with
obviously.
Biden and Bernie Sanders as well. I feel like if they got into office, they may not survive. And so that would be very crucial who they pick for their vice president.
Did you see that Bloomberg was going to pick Hillary? The whole meme about he better watch his back.
Yes. Yes. That's very classic. Swalwell.
Oh, yeah, that's who it was.
Yeah. Swallow well. That's the guy.
He swallows well.
Yes, from California. The Democrats have the best names. I'll tell you what. I just lost it.
So we're going to go live on
a-
election night, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, we're going to do that.
Yes.
We're going to drink a lot of beer, a lot of whiskey, a lot of rum. It's going to be a shit show, but it's going to be a good time. And if Trump loses, I swear to God, we might just throw on our gear and just walk out the door and start the boogaloo.
And you will never see us again. We'll all have like Hawaiian shirts in your safe.
That'll be it. The end of wasted ammo.
Bravo 6 going dark.
Have another Corona.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I didn't know my mutt could do that. Good to know. Good to know.
Grab one of the coronavirus slimes from Walmart.
Nathan says, Bloomberg picking Clinton as vice president was suicide with extra steps.
Yeah. Suddenly, Bloomberg was feeling very suicidal.
Right. Oh, man. It's definitely like a crazy time. There's a lot going on. You have an election coming up. You have the coronavirus. You have the stock market at like an all-time high through inflation and printing money. I mean, God, like the Fed just came out and cut rates 50 basis points.
Yeah.
Like, what's that going to do? Is that going to stop coronavirus from infecting more people in the United States? No. Is it going to fix the supply chains? No.
What are mortgage rates at right now?
It dropped below 3. We were just talking about my sister. She's a lender, and she was at dinner, and it was like 2.7.
Time for Eric to refinance.
It could be.
Yeah.
If you have like the loan to value ratio plus a perfect credit score, yeah, it's like 2.7.
Yeah, it might be time. I was looking at refinancing this last summer, and I dragged my feet on it. It was like 3.5%.
3.5? Yeah, it might be time.
Yeah. So
do you pay PMI?
Mm-hmm.
You do? Oh, dude, no, you should do it. You could drop PMI, get a lower rate.
Yeah. Yeah, we went from, so we have 20 years left, and we went to a 15-year fixed, and because we were a 30-year fixed. Or no, we're at 20 years. So it wasn't that much of a difference. So we'd actually end up paying only $10 more a month for a 15-year over a 20-year at 5%, which is what we're at right now.
Yeah.
So
call my sister.
I think I will.
Go over the numbers. I know Doug and Erica, they're going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, 2.7 is super low.
And with the value of houses right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Lower rate, no PMI, do it. No buy a new house.
Yes. Timothy says when Trump wins, it may be a defensive boogaloo for us. The left is going to lose their stuff.
I mean, are they though? I mean, do they really think they're going to win?
Look, all I'm saying is that I carried the Beretta today. That has 17 rounds. And then in my Neo Mag, I carried my new gift from Kyle Wilson.
Nice.
30 round mag as my backup.
You know what's funny? He asked me if we had a place that he could send that to.
Mm-hmm.
And I was away for Jackson's birthday. So I came back and I finally saw it. And I was like, oh, sorry. I just saw this. Like, here's the PO box, you know. And he was like, thanks, but I already sent it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that same day you texted me the picture that you got it.
Yeah.
Like,
he messaged me directly. But thank you for that, Kyle. A little shout out to you. I actually carried that as my backup today in my Neo Mag in my pocket.
Nice.
Walked into Walmart, it's
a big mag for the pocket.
Oh, it's fantastic. I love it. The Neo Mag sits perfectly right here below like the extra grip, extended, whatever you want to call it, cuff. And all of this sticks above my pocket, but my sweatshirt's low enough, my hoodie's low enough that it covers it.
Joe says, no touching on live. Don't lose the show.
This isn't a gun. Not a gun.
as it shuts down.
Whatever. Screw you, YouTube. Hate your guts. I didn't touch the gun. And anyway, I was carrying 48 rounds today and just 2 magazines.
You also have the magnifier from Josiah. Is it who sent it to you?
No,
Phil.
Phil Masnikowski.
Phil.
Yep.
Dude, Phil, he didn't like the magnifier?
Yeah. The thing is, it also magnifies the red dot.
It does. Yeah.
I think people would rather just have the magnified view, but still have the red dot be as small as it is. But beggars can't be choosers. But I like it. I'm enjoying it. I haven't gotten it to the range yet with the magnifier on it, but I like having the magnified view.
I do too. I love it on mine.
Yeah, it's
Mine's in the safe. I can't grab it.
Yeah. So all I need right now is a new brace. Saving up for that.
I mean, do you not like that one?
It's okay. I rather have something. They have ones that are like 5-position adjustable. And then also I can get a cheek riser for it too. Mm-hmm. And I can get like that perfect setup.
Gotcha.
Which, by the way, AK Operators Union, Rob Ski, or Sky, I don't know, Russian guy, reviewed the Palmetto State AKE, which has a chrome-lined barrel made by FN Herstal.
Okay.
And it is fantastic. He got a 1.33-inch group at 400 yards.
With an AK.
With an AK. Everything's forged, not stamped. Chrome-lined barrel from FN.
Well, it's kind of like that's what Eric has.
All the other parts are made by Palmetto. And it is fantastic. It is also like a hefty price tag on it. I think it's like $800 or $900. But super accurate AK.
What AK did Eric Adams have?
I'm not sure. The AKE just came out. So I'm not sure what he had.
Because it wasn't
a Romanian surplus like mine?
No, it was definitely like a premium. It wasn't stamped. Maybe it was forged. I don't know.
Oh.
He paid double what you paid.
Gotcha. It sounds like a Sega.
Okay.
Rob is Polish. My fault. Thank you, Timothy, for correcting me.
Polish, not
Polish.
Russian.
Yeah. Speaking of nationalities, there's another liquor that I want to get for you guys to try. It is from my ancestry, and it's from Sweden. It's called Glug.
Glug?
Glug.
What is that? Okay.
Anyway, it's Swedish liquor of some kind. But apparently, they drank mead. The Vikings drank mead as their beer, but Glug was their shots. I've only ever had it once. It was at the Swedish Museum in Philadelphia because we live near there. We were members there, and we went to a holiday celebration with my parents, and everyone had a shot of this stuff. So it was actually pretty good, but I'll have to try to find some.
Okay. See, for me, I like the marketing aspect of a lot of this stuff. Like, so this to me is amazing
because it looks like pirate rum.
Yeah, like that does it for me.
Yeah,
like this. Like what is this? This is actually tequila,
right?
Which is fine. Decent looking bottle, but this one right here,
Cabo Wabo,
looks cooler. It's all about the marketing. It's all about the looks. It's all about being pirate-esque. Where are you getting Pete's Pirate Life, right?
Mm-hmm. They have...
The next drop is going to be some whiskey glasses.
Right. They have the pirate...
which is Peter McKinnon.
Yeah.
He's like a big photographer, Instagrammer.
His photography is on point.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah.
But it's got the Jolly Roger pressed into the bottom of the glass.
We need 4.
Yes, we do. So, I mean, we're going to be on top of that drop.
So
like
we'll both try to get it,
mm-hmm.
and then Wasted Ammo will pay for it. But if you can get it, grab it.
Yeah. I just don't know when it is. I haven't seen it being announced or anything like that.
No, he'll announce it. He'll be like at 8 a.m. on this day, it's going to drop.
Gotcha. It'll probably be during like a meeting at work.
Probably.
It'll probably be like,
so if I'm available, I'll try to get it.
It'll probably be like Friday morning at 7:55.
Because what was the last one? The last one was it was just like a pair of dice that looked amazing. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to get it, but then, life. I think I was an hour late and it was gone.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Yeah.
But I did see from another website, it was like same kind of thing. Really cool pirate looking paradise, and it was silver. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I might get those.
Okay. Yeah. The thing is, like, you can get them elsewhere. It's not completely unique stuff. Yeah. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I did get from. Let me see if I can look it up. Don't want to botch the name. From Silver State Foundry, I did get a Don't Tread on Me silver ring. That's pretty amazing. So it was actually a coin that was stamped into a ring. See if you can get that by the camera.
Yeah. Lucy, if you're still watching, I want one of these. I almost bought one tonight, but they're nice.
I do have a coupon. Pretty good. Yeah. A little bit of a glare, just kind of like turn a little bit. There you go. So you had the snake on there, the Don't Tread on Me. It's actually a silver coin, 1 ounce, that's turned into a ring. That is just beautiful.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So it's normally like $160, and I was on their website, for the past like couple months, right? And they sent me an email finally and said, like, here's a 50% off coupon.
Oh, you got 50% off?
Done. Yeah, so I got it for like $80.
Oh, dude, the one I was looking at was like 175.
170? Yeah.
Yeah, because I was looking at the Walking Liberty one.
Okay. He has a whole bunch.
Yeah, it was like $175, and I'm like, man, I got to talk to Lucy about this purchase.
I mean, for
first.
a ring, it's like a huge-ass ring, but it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. I love it.
And it's hefty.
Yeah.
But it's 1 ounce silver. I love it.
Tradable commodity.
That's right. Pretty cool. I'll throw that on Instagram here soon.
While I was cleaning today, I found some coins that I had put aside that were rare ones that I came across. I'm not a coin collector, but anytime I do come across like a rare one, even like wheat pennies or buffalo nickels, I'll throw those in a little jar just in case there's a blemish on one or one becomes like super rare. Timothy says $80 for $18 of silver. You're paying for the manufacturing of defacing government property into a ring.
Which I think is illegal.
Yeah. But anyway, people still do it. And I did see, actually, there was one where I could send in a coin of my own and have them press it into a ring.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So I may do that. I've got a couple of different specialty ones that I might have them do for me. But I found some World War II era. One's dated 1940 and the other one's 1943. And they are dimes with the head of Mercury on them. And Mercury is the god of war, I want to say. Or is that, no, that's Mars. I can't remember who Mercury is. But anyway, they're really rare. But on that website that you got your ring from, they had actually made those Mercury dimes into earrings.
It's the god of shopkeepers and merchants.
Oh, gotcha.
Travelers and transporters of goods. Thieves and tricksters.
I feel like you're reading like my horoscope. Yeah, but anyway, they made them into earrings. I was like, oh, that'd be cool to send those 2 coins that I have in and have earrings made for Lucy. I don't know if she would wear them or like them, but something.
Yeah.
Because they're probably not worth much.
Still kind of cool.
It's still neat.
That's what this is. I mean, obviously, yeah, like Timothy said, 1 ounce silver, it's, $18, but it's also just a cool ring.
Yeah, I like it. I'll get one. Hopefully I can get a 50% off coupon.
I think turn into a ring at least doubles the price.
Something. So I have an article actually for us today. And this was sent to me by one of our listeners. And oh, go back. And it's about alcohol.
Okay.
So I figured it was very fitting for, since we're kind of sampling different types of alcohol. Introducing Atomic Vodka, the first liquor made from crops grown in the Chernobyl exclusion zone.
Really?
Really?
Okay. I'm interested.
All right, this was published in August of last year. The Chernobyl Spirit Company has 3 goals: utilize the exclusion zone, stimulate local economies, and make safe, delicious vodka. April marked the
Safe?
safe. April marked the 33rd anniversary of the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. After the 1986 explosion, which released untold amounts of radioactive material across the continent, a 1,000 square mile exclusion zone around Chernobyl plant was established to mark the region deemed too radioactive for habitation. Consequently, thousands were evacuated, and what was once a functional satellite city became a ghost town, according to the BBC. However, this town might be back in business with the advent of an artisan vodka made right where the disaster occurred. The ominously named Atomic Vodka, ATOMIK, vodka, is made with grain and water ground in the very zone once evacuated for its radiation levels, and has become the first consumer product to hail from the abandoned region since the disaster. The vodka is a product of the Chernobyl Spirit Company, which is a part of a long-standing project led by Professor Jim Smith of the UK's University of Portsmouth. His project has, since the 1990s, looked into the transfer of radioactivity to crops grown in the Chernobyl exclusion zone. The business has so far developed one finished bottle, which is by all accounts safe to drink. There's one bottle in existence. It's the only bottle in existence, said Smith. I tremble when I pick it up. As far as experts of Southampton University can tell, the final product is absolutely safe. Everything was below their limit of detection, Smith assured. This is no more radioactive than any other vodka, said Smith, continued. Any chemist will tell you when you distill something, impurities stay in the waste product. So we took rye that was slightly contaminated and water from the Chernobyl aquifer, and we distilled it.
Slightly contaminated.
Slightly. It's only in the exclusion zone where you cannot live. Smith and his colleagues plan to reintroduce the profits made from atomic vodka into the local communities whose livelihoods were destroyed with the explosion. As one of the founding members of the nascent Chernobyl Spirit Company, Dr. Gennady Leptev of the Ukrainian Hydrometeorological Institute in Kiev is most enthusiastic about the liquor means for the region as a whole. We don't have to just abandon the land, he said. We can use it in diverse ways, and we can produce something that will be totally clean from radioactivity. Clean.
Do you trust Russians?
Do you trust Russians? Indeed, the exclusion zone has shown promising signs of recovery. Wildlife isn't merely surviving anymore, but thriving. The animals of Chernobyl Red Forest include wolves, deer, and a variety of birds with 5 legs. I added the 5 legs part.
2 heads.
Exactly. The area has also become a legitimate tourist attraction and is plagued by millennial influencers taking opportunistic selfies around the abandoned buildings.
Millennials eat Tide Pods.
Yes. So radiation has no effect on them. They've built immunity through Tide Pods. The Chernobyl Spirit Company simply sees their product as financial opportunity for locals who are still struggling to get by. The problem for most people who live there is they don't have the proper diet, good health services, jobs, or instrument. Sorry, socialist medicine. That's all I'm saying. Indeed, a lack of money poses more of a danger to the locals around the exclusion zone than radiation does. There are radiation hotspots in the exclusion zone, but for the most part, contamination is lower than you'd find in other parts of the world with relatively high natural background radiation, Smith said. According to the product's website, Atomic Vodka will donate at least 75% of its profits from sales to supporting communities in the affected areas and wildlife conservation. The most important conversation the world can have about Chernobyl today, Smith asserted, is not radiation by economic opportunity. After 30 years, I think the most important thing is the area is actually economic development, not the radioactivity, he urged. End of the story.
I want a bottle.
So my theory is that you drink this bottle, and have you ever seen a Russian bear, like a Russian grizzly? They're like 25 feet tall. So my theory is that if you were to drink this atomic vodka, you would turn into some like Russian spirit animal.
Okay.
So if I were to ever face a bear, I would actually have a bottle of this in my bug out bag. And if I were to ever face a bear where I'd have to go for the stab record, I would drink this right before I started.
You're like, hold on.
It would make me an animal myself.
Berserker.
Exactly. This has to be like a Boogaloo side quest.
Oh, there you go.
The bear stab record. But you drink the atomic vodka before you go for the record.
Oh, man. Timothy says the only bottle of vodka that doubles as a nightlight. So they made one bottle. Like, how do you make just one bottle?
I don't know.
If this, if this ever like comes out for actual retail, for sale, we need to get one.
Yes.
We'll drink it here live on the show and see what happens. If we die, we die.
If he dies, he dies.
But, yeah. That is amazing. I really want to try one now.
Exactly. I mean, do you turn into like Vladimir Putin himself?
It's impossible.
Do you ride shirtless on the backs of Russian grizzlies?
Now, are like Russian grizzlies bigger than American?
They tend to be, but
Really?
I say that's due to the radiation. Have you seen? There's actually pictures of like a bear that was actually manhunting and had mauled like 20 some individuals that were hiking.
No, I remember that post of like the Russian bear.
And you see like dudes just torn to shreds, and there's just like shredded Adidas tracksuits everywhere with like people's insides all over the ground.
No, like their
like,
body
ripped in half.
cavities are basically like
Hollowed
eaten.
out. Yeah. And there's just like limbs everywhere. Like that's how I imagine drinking atomic vodka would be. Like you glow,
like a
you
grizzly
radiate.
bear just
Yeah, like as soon as you would drink it, you grow a full beard and you just become the manliest man there ever is. You pull out your knife and you go hunt this man-hunting bear himself, and the hunter becomes the hunted. Like you turn, like you start glowing.
I feel like, is Matt still on? Kritzberg, is he on here? I feel like we need to make you the ultimate like bar stabber knife, and Matt has to make it for you.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like this is something that Wasted Ammo should provide you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. I will say that in one of my bug out, in one of my get home bag or my bug out bag, I think it's my bug out bag, I have the knife that I sent to David Apple at Apple Edges.
Which is okay.
And he dubbed it the record breaker. And he sharpened that thing so that it could destroy bears.
But what was it? That was like a $20 knife?
It was a $34 M-Tech knife.
Yeah, it wasn't much. Like, I want you to have like this custom made bar stabber knife.
Yeah, I feel like it should be like if Matt Chrisberg were to create the Bowie knife again, what would it look like?
It's a challenge.
Perfectly balanced. You also need to measure the
You give me the specifications that you want in the knife, we'll make it happen.
Well, that's the thing. How deep do I have to stab in order to hit vitals?
On a bear.
On a bear. What is the penetration depth to vital organs on a bear?
On a radioactive bear.
Yes. I too will be radioactive, so I will have superpowers that I can stab this bear with. But I need to know what that penetration amount is. Like is it just what's the 10 millimeter of knives?
I don't know.
We need to know these things. Matt, you're the guy.
If you're watching and you know, let us know.
But thank you, Eric Scott, for sending me that article about the atomic vodka. You made my week.
Someone sent it to you? That's awesome.
That was for you.
Awkward Boner just said, are you guys going live tonight?
Already there, bro.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
About to wrap it up. It's about 11 o'clock.
Man, time
Hour and a
flies.
half. All talking about whiskey, rum, Corona. I'm kind of excited for this next year. It's going to be kind of crazy.
We need to get our hands on some atomic vodka.
Yes, we do. For election night.
That would be amazing. So far, there's only one bottle. How much do you think that one bottle costs?
Can't put a price on it. They're going to drink it.
I mean, if Amazon delivers it for us from Russia, we get coronavirus, and then we also extinguish it in the same night while we demolish this.
Awkward Boner says, no, is Bo going live tonight? A peep show? What? What did I miss?
Did I miss something?
Is there a Bo peep show?
Bo already
tonight?
said goodnight. He's out. Bo's going to bed. He's got to work tomorrow.
He said, sorry, humor over text doesn't convey well. I think Phil and Bo have something going on.
Bow, chicka,
Interesting.
bow, wow. Sorry.
Oh, man.
Will Carey says, come out with an AK and Adidas tracksuit. I can do that.
Mighty Joe says the Bowie knife is the 10 millimeter of handguns. So let's just design it like a Bowie knife.
Yeah.
Nice and simple. We can do like some type of special wasted ammo bar stabber etching on it. Let's get one made.
Yeah.
When it's not killing a bear, it can just be like, bam, right there in the middle of the table.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Just shining in light.
I need this in my life now.
All right, well, that's all I have tonight. I have nothing else. Except for...
Black Site episode.
Yeah, Black Site.
We're going to go. We got to record some more.
Re-record.
Re-record. So if
It's
you
actually
guys,
a good one.
if you guys joined us late, we did explain what happened. And Steve had this audio tool that was supposed to mitigate or exclude background noises. And the
Like
sensitivity,
my furnace.
yeah, and the sensitivity was too high. So as we trail off our sentences, it kept cutting us off. But we had 3 or 4 people chime in saying that they want us to release that episode anyway.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay. I can.
So we'll just dub it the lost episode. That is hard to listen to.
For everyone or Black Site?
I'm in a we the people mood right now.
We the people.
Everyone. with a caveat. I mean,
Let me go through it. Let me see if I can do anything
Yeah.
to it.
which did you see we had a iTunes review where somebody said that we stutter and anyway, I just want to know if they got past episode 1 because episode 1 that was pretty much all there was.
I think it's the live episode.
Oh, the live episode? It was like that, yeah.
Yeah. It's all right. It's fine.
Oh.
I don't edit the live episodes.
No. And that's one of the things that they mentioned in their review was like, do some simple editing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, bro, you have no idea. But
I have no time for that.
everyone's a critic, but they don't do it themselves. And it turns out he doesn't have a podcast. But anyway, I'm not overly annoyed. We're still a 5-star rating. But if you guys would, please leave us an honest review. And if it's honest to the point where you criticize us, I will roast you live. But yeah, go head over to iTunes and give us a review. It's about time.
We haven't asked for a review for a long time.
I know. That's why I figured I'd bring it up. I actually went on there. I was like, oh, wow. Like, there's way more reviews than I remember us having last time. But the last time I checked was like 2 years ago.
Right.
So.
Still 5-star. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Unless you're Skizos, don't bother. I already know how you feel.
He already edited his review. He took us down to a 1-star.
Good for him. Congratulations. You deserve everything that's coming your way, bro.
Oh, man.
Timothy's out. He says 4 o'clock. Beat down tomorrow.
Dude. Come on, Timothy. Good luck on the new job opportunity.
Yes, your future endeavors.
So I just want to say thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Kyle says don't forget to read the Tier 1 members.
Ooh.
Kyle's not here to do it.
Come on, Kyle. Yes. Thank you for the reminder.
Start typing.
We want to have a special thank you to our 1911 tier Black Site members. If you want to help support the show, just go to patreon.com/wasted ammo. And you can see all the details. But for our 1911 tier members, the ones that pay $20 per month to help support the show, we give a special thank you live here on the episodes. And for some reason, it's not coming up. Published. Let's go. Where is it? I just want to have a big shout out to Jason Bacon, Alexander, David, Dennis, Eric, Jesus, Joshua. Oh, not Surrey. Chris, Peter, Phil, Raymond, Ryan, Seth, Shelby, Todd, and Kyle. Thank you for supporting the show. We appreciate it. We couldn't do without you guys. At all.
Yeah, we could not.
I'm slurring so bad right now. It's crazy.
The rum.
The rum is strong, man.
This is how pirates are all the time.
It reminds me of what's the show? I can't even think of it.
Yeah, you can't even think of it.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Why's the rum always gone?
Exactly.
Oh my God, why can't I think of it?
What?
Please tell me.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, what's the character's name?
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow, thank you. Damn. He got me.
And then Keira Knightley, her character said something about why does rum always turn the most decent